Friends, greetings and salutations. Let's talk about Palantir stock and what's about to happen this week. So, there is a question. Has Palantir already priced in what they think the stock is worth? Have investors already sitting at this $41 some change, around this 40 to 45 zone, we'll say, is this the new high / new low for Palantir right now? There's a lot of questions around that, but still very good for where a lot of people are. I do want to make mention, a lot of people ask me what other AI stocks they should be looking at, and I can only tell you personally what I'm looking at. SoundHound here, who will be reporting earnings themselves here very soon, who have a strong buy rating. And if you don't know who SoundHound is, I don't want to spend the whole video talking about them, but you really need to pay attention to what's going on over at SoundHound. For a stock that's still under $6, was $5 just a few weeks ago, this company should double their earnings quarterly after quarterly next year. So this is a huge play potentially of 2025. I think it's going to be the dark horse, and I think a lot of people need to pay attention what's going over at SoundHound. So with that, let's go right into Palantir. Palantir will be releasing quarterlies here on Monday after market close. So we could see, obviously this week is going to be very intense in the market. We could see Palantir go back up to a $44, $45 range here this Monday. Potentially. I'm curious how the market's going to react, because the market had a huge sell-off here towards the end of last week with job reports. But too, we had a lot of tech stocks, big tech stocks, the biggest tech stocks report earnings last week, and even the ones that did well with their earnings, we still saw massive sell-off, and of course, it was just a bad into the week in the market here. But with that too, Palantir, even if Palantir has a sell-off, I would consider it a blessing. Here's what we suspect and what we know right now with Palantir. Here's the situation. These quarterlies will be coming out regardless here Monday after market close. So the thing is, can we go to 50, or do we think we're going to sell back to 35? I'm going to be very honest. I would love to see 35. I selfishly would love to see 35, because I would be trying to load up as much capital as I could into Palantir. Now, do I think we're going to see 35? I don't know. That's a bit steep. I'm going to be honest, 35, but it's there for a reason. And either way, we know these quarterlies are going to be positive quarterlies. Okay, no one is expecting Palantir to come out with quarterlies that are just going to be like miss. That's not going to happen. The worst they're going to do on these quarterlies is 10 to 15% over expectation. Now, what we're really wanting to see, to get to this $50 range here within the next month or so with Palantir, are we going to see Palantir come out with a 25 to 35% increase from what the evaluation is supposed to be? That's where we're really talking about seeing some crazy numbers right here with Palantir. That's where things get very, very inflated with pricing, from that point on. So, bullet points that are good right now with Palantir. It is becoming a huge AI stock. Not to mention just in the realm of AI right now, but in the zeitgeist that just investors alone are becoming obsessed with this stock. This is why people are saying $500 to $1,000 within years' time. And this is why people are also just obsessed with Palantir getting these quarterlies, just increasing, every quarter, what I'm trying to say here. But with that too, they're capturing deals. They're just not stopping the deals. We see Palantir come out with all these new deals, and these aren't just little peanut deals. These are huge, multi-million-dollar deals they're capturing. Not to mention they're going, the S&P 500, they're on it. So we have a lot of stuff here that by this time next year, we could easily be saying, well, it looks like Palantir's going over $100 finally. Now we're getting to a $100 stock here, and it's going to be harder just to buy one share of Palantir. That's a crazy thought, but that's a very realistic situation that we could be looking at here in the near future. This is the thing too. I've talked about this, but I'll harp on it a little more because it's so important. Alex Karp, has come out this year with these interviews talking about Palantir, talking about the future of Palantir, talking about the future of AI, what he thinks about it, and where Palantir is headed in that situation. Obviously, there's only so much he can say as the CEO. He can't come out and just say, I've seen the numbers, we're about to blow your socks off on this next quarterly. There is a thing called the FCC. He just can't come out and say that. But if you've been listening to Alex Karp this year, especially these last few months, he's been leaving breadcrumbs. He's been leaving crumbs saying, hey, we're undervalued. Hey, I know some things that are coming up that are going to blow your mind. We don't have competition right now. We have no ceiling right now where Palantir is going. It is unstoppable. And I'm just excited about it. So those are very good things. As a fellow investor, investing almost 10 years now, there's one thing that I have noticed, a bad thing and a good thing, as long as I've been investing in the stock market now. When you have a CEO who really doesn't talk or show themselves or talk about the company and just they're not really excited about it, and a company that is just like getting a new CEO every 2-3 years, it's not a good sign. It's not good. Palantir is not having that problem. Alex Karp is essentially, a huge figure in the AI realm right now. People are starting to recognize his name. They know who this guy is. But he's so good at pumping up his company, talking about his company, what they are, what they're going to be, and what is to come, as much as he can say. So, that's a very, very good thing when we see that with investor relationship with a company. That's what you want to see. You'll want to see the CEO talking. I get very nervous when I don't see them talking, because 9 times out of 10 they don't want to talk because they don't have to answer questions that they know are going to be bad or they don't have the answer to. But here's one thing that should make you very excited to be an investor in Palantir. And I don't look at Palantir as this stock as get in, get out. I am not budging from the situation. Even if Palantir was to have a sell-off here Monday or Tuesday after quarterlies, and we saw it go back down to like a 38, somewhere around there, I would consider that a blessing. I would not personally sell out because I know the quarterlies are going to be good and positive regardless. But 2025 is going to be, it doesn't matter who the president's going to be at this point. AI is going to control the market. It's going to control the narrative of 2025. It is going to be in charge. The next shift, the next gear in AI with the stock market is going to be huge. Not to mention, Nvidia is about to come out the Blackwell chip, and we're about to see them break all-time highs again with their quarterlies. As stupid and crazy as that sounds, it's just the truth. That's what's going to happen here. So there's going to be another shift here in AI. It's going to take off. And that's something you have to be aware of. So when we see AI start to pick up the market again and run, and that very well could be in January as soon as that, because every time we see a new president sworn in, there's always a shift in the market to be excited. Investors are excited, and that's how it is. So we're going to see a lot of these AI stocks be the leading horses in the market, if that makes sense. They're going to be up front. They're going to be pulling the whole market behind them. And that's essentially what we saw this whole year with the stock market. If it wasn't for Nvidia, AMD, Meta, a lot of these chip makers, the market wouldn't have been as successful for a lot of reasons, and not to mention just all these little low cap AI stocks that are trying to get somewhere too. Palantir, Palantir had a huge year. We were not at $40 this time last year with Palantir. Think where we'll be next year. So, friends, the hardest part of investing that I find with anybody, and I'm talking to myself too at any given time, it's having patience to stay in a stock. It's having patience to just let your investment sit there. So many people, and I've seen this a lot. It gets worse too, where we have this new generation of investors where they have the stock market in their pocket on their phone. They're just wanting to, shave off, little amounts of money here or there, buy, sell, and never really keep anything. And it's really sad because that's how you miss out on a lot of things. Do I believe in short selling, doing things like that? Absolutely, I do it. But there is a very fundamental aspect too of finding a company that is growing at a very fast rate. So many positives. You just keep plowing money into it because you know it hasn't even touched a high yet. We know Palantir is undervalued. We know that. We have assessed that. That's an observation that everyone is agreeing with at this point here. So, know that to be true. So I don't want to talk too much more. I've talked about Palantir so much. I think at this point we just need to wait and watch here. But like I said, from what we've seen here, if Palantir were to come out with really good quarterlies, I wouldn't be shocked to see it sell off a little bit. Palantir's had a really good run. This month alone, we broke an all-time high, $45, and that's huge. That's huge. So I think a lot has been priced in at this point, but if Palantir were to touch 50, if we had some face-melting quarterlies come out here, I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be like, well, this is to be expected here, because this week in the market should be pretty good here. This is an election week market, and the market's really going to be back and forth this week with a lot of stocks. So, friends, I wish all of you best of luck. Like I said, please keep your eye on SoundHound. I'm not telling you to go buy SoundHound, but I am telling you, that is a stock that is going to get very expensive very fast. It's going to get out of control. I guarantee you. Friends, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.